Welcome to another day of Ether Raids. We're taking on Leighton here, and we're gonna go with the Goldvig team. Well, I don't know if this is really a Goldvig team, but the melee hit and run team to get things going here. Pretty much, well, it's actually a melee Gale Force, but what we're gonna do is looking at how this is lined up, it's actually pretty perfect for Dimitri to just go in, hit, and kill everyone. Not too much of a challenge here. I mean, on this map in particular, I did plan a few interesting strategies, so maybe depending on the units, I can probably get it to work at least once, maybe. Let's see what happens for the rest of the week. If not, maybe I'll show it off in like a mock battle at the end of the season, or maybe in the middle of it. It's better to do those at the end, I think, yeah. So yeah, this is an option. That's a part of the interesting strategy, but it really depends on the units that are on the front line for this specific map, in terms of whether or not this warp strategy works here. Interesting that she's not, Nerpuz here is not outspeeding this, what's her face, Brave Marianne. That's quite interesting. You'd think she'd be fast enough with all the stuff that Nerpuz is getting, but it's not happening. But from here, the only thing we need to do is get rid of Veronica, since she has a sweep effect, although it wouldn't matter since two units are not going to be in range of Dimitri here. Pretty much everyone else should die once they attack. It's got to make way for whatever might come down, and then that's pretty much it. Not quite sure what the intention of this map was, since they're, well, then again, this is still like the first days of I think this is the second day, so yeah, not a ton of investment is to be expected from some of these maps. Especially a lot of them are indeed newer players. I remember when I was just getting started, it was really difficult to stay in the vault, so I can only imagine how hard it is now with all of the new units running around being a menace. So this is still respectable for what it is. Didn't expect so many dances though. That's disappointing. I expected more people to try to attack Dimitri, but I guess they were just dying or doing zeros. That aside, Winter Dimitri is finally now in Astra Anima because Light Season, low-key, doesn't work very well. So I had to move him over, because if he loses his status effects, he kind of just does nothing. And also, low-key is a healer, which means a ton of no counter disrupt, which means he can't counterattack if she attacks him. And you don't want that. She will pretty much just solo him. So yeah, Dimitri is now in Astra season. It makes sense. He gets to do his thing. There's a ton of blue units on defense for Astra Anima, and not a lot of threats for Dimitri on defense in terms of what the mythics are in Astra Anima. I mean, there could be something new that comes out that, you know, throws the whole thing on its head. Maybe one of the beast units from this. I think we're getting. At the end of the month we're getting something, so maybe that might throw things out of whack, and I'll probably have to reconsider some things, but for now he's perfectly fine here. I never actually get to use this Dimitri, so all the more reason to put him over here. I don't want to fodder. I want to keep at least one copy because he himself is such a tremendous unit that it just doesn't seem right to just fodder every single copy of Winter Dimitri. But also at the same time, I'm not gonna give up that many copies of No Quarter. It's such a broken skill, special. I can't just not fodder that, you know. So this is the one that I'm gonna keep. I have two in the tuck, two of them, and then I also have that Spring Sylvain that I haven't figured out who to give his fodder to yet. I have no intention of using that unit, none whatsoever. Not a fan. Not a bad unit, I'm just not a fan. So yeah, there's that. I've been contemplating giving it to Freyr on defense, just to make him a little bit more troublesome to deal with.
Are you ready?
Like if you attack into him and you don't kill him, he should be able to retaliate with a No Quarter. But then also, true damage reduction is a thing now, so you can, I don't know, man, it's so complicated.
Ready when you are.
But yeah, those are just some of the thoughts I've been having. I was also considering to give it to Not, but I don't see myself using Not. And also, I could probably pick her up as a Forma from Binding Worlds, but GG's. That's it for this match. See you in the next one. Alright, welcome to another day of Ether Rays. This is my highest scoring team, and we're going to have to use it this week. 400. I'm finally in the 400 club after 4 years of playing this game mode. It's taken me that long to get merges on multiple mythics that can get me to this score threshold. Not that I care, but it's actually surprising that basically every time you play a match and you win, you rank up to the next level. I didn't realize that you needed 400 to do that. The max score is 420, which means you need at least one of your mythics to be plus 10, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe even both of them. Two of them. Yeah, so not something that I'm chasing after. Also the fact that mythics do swap out every other week or so. And Veil is just so good currently in the meta that I don't see myself ever not using her. And also the fact that she randomly just started coming home from that a hero losers banner, so now she's plus 5. So I don't know if I'll ever pick up more copies. Maybe just one more.
I'll do it.
Maybe from like a random pull. I don't see myself getting super lucky before she gets like her refine and remix. But yeah, she's currently I think I mentioned this before, highest scoring Astra Anima Mythic. And we're just going to throw Ike into this one. Nothing here should really bother him. Camilla might go there. Let's not break that. Yeah, and we're just going to solo this. It should be fine. No worries. That aside, I have been dipping into that legendary banner quite a bit more. I think I've gotten my Ascended Sita up to plus 7. I've just been getting Sitas, and granted, my Sita was only plus 2 when I started, so I've gotten 5 copies of attuned Sita, which is fantastic. And then I've also gotten 2 copies of what's her face? Ivy. Fantastic unit as well. So that's plus 4 if I do all the merges, which I currently cannot because I don't know who to give the fodder to. I have a bunch of fodder on Ivy. I eventually got like 2 extra copies of Emblem Celica, and I foddered once to Ivy, and my god, Ivy with that resonance. Whew. She's good. She's definitely really, really good. And then I foddered the other one to Ascended Celica, and also Ascended Celica with resonance. Spicy. Yeah, she's really, really good as well. That is actually exactly what Ascended Celica needed. So basically, I just took the full kit from Emblem Celica and gave it to Ascended Celica, and Ascended Celica is so much better now. Plus the miracle, if you give her Hardy Bearing, she can actually solo Ike. If you have a way to pre-charge, let's say Flare, because of the extra true damage that you get from Flare, she can actually solo Emblem Ike, which is fantastic. Because I needed more units that could do that. So that was one of the investments that I've made so far. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the other one yet. I do have a couple of flying options that I'm considering, flying mages, but I don't know. Chloe is fine. A lot of them really would prefer to have, instead of the DR piercing, they just rather to do more damage because they just fail in the damage department. I'm thinking about like, what's her face? Blue Baby Golveg. I'm thinking about Baby Golveg, and then also, Dual Golveg, the summer one. Really what they want is just more damage overall, because Baby Golvig already can take out Ike, so if you gave her like a Cultist Strike, she'd do, even better in that matchup, which is what I'm considering, but I've only got 1 copy of a Cultist Strike left, and I don't want to put that on Ivy, attuned Ivy, because you don't want to put too much fodder on your... You don't want to put too much fodder on your attune units, because eventually once you get that unit to plus 10, then it's locked and you can't do anything with that unit anymore in terms of skill inheritance. So you want to diversify your portfolio in terms of managing your skill inheritance, your skill fodder units, your skill fodder banks. You want to manage them properly. Don't put all your eggs in one basket in that regards. Unfortunately, though, I do have to, because I don't have any other options, I have to put Lego's Friend 4 on attuned Sita, because I don't have any other options, and I really want to like get to foddering that skill to a couple of people before it gets power crept, which I'm pretty sure that it will at some point. But yeah, I'm just like making a list and checking it twice to see what I'll do. But GG's, that's it for this one. See you next time. Alright, we're taking on Karen today in a match that is going to prove to be quite challenging. This is not something that I could have tanked with Ike or Marth for that matter, because Baby Robin here has an AoE, which is something that I've been thinking about as well, because lately my Baby Robin has been failing like miserably to kill Ikes. I'm not sure why. I don't know what happened. It's not really Breath of Life, although I guess it does play a part because it does give him the extra defensive bulk, but Ikes have just been surviving against Baby Robin, and it's kind of frustrating because Baby Robin was my go-to in that regard in terms of taking out Ikes. So I'm wondering if I should like invest Occultist Strike into him so he can, you know, just do more damage. But I really love the cancel one from that B skill that he has, and it also has some defensive debuffs and attack speed debuffs as well, although I guess they don't matter that much against Ike. But if you're running something like Sabotage, then I guess it does count, although there'll probably be some other debuff somewhere else that would make it not matter. But yeah, Baby Robin, at least mine, needs some help to take out Ikes now. It's not as straightforward as it used to be. And Ike players are getting smart. They're getting wiser to the tactics. So they're supporting Ike with, let's say, Lumera for the Stone Vein support, or even Corrin. You know, take off the far save skill and just let Corrin be a support unit. Brave Corrin, that is. And they're supporting him with Veil, and there's just a ton of stuff that you can do to help out Ike in that matchup. And Baby Robin is quickly losing a ton of value in terms of being able to get that kill consistently. I don't know if it's the same for everyone else, but at least for me, mine is unmerged. I just gave him a couple of Dragon Flowers, not even the max, just enough to up his attack by 1. But yeah, not sure what I'm going to do about that. That aside, this is actually quite the challenging map here because you have the miracle support from Ymir, who I think is one of the sleeper units in terms of the trajectory of this game, because we're going towards a meta where everything is going to be getting one shot, and she has a big role to play in keeping your tanks alive and forcing different playstyles, especially with like Edelgard stuff. I guess maybe it doesn't matter if you're hitting AoEs. She has no way around that, but you can probably even give her like high Dragon Wall to make things a little bit more interesting, because she can run that since she is indeed a dragon. But then the only other option that you potentially run would be, let's say, Summer Ymir or Fallen Maria. And I think Ymir as a melee option is probably a little bit better, and the fact that her miracle effect is consistent. But yeah, those are just some thoughts. I don't think I'm going to be implementing her on a defense anytime soon unless I'm able to duplicate High Dragon Wall, because I do want to get rid of that Corrin. He's so booty. Legendary male Corrin is just so bad, like such a bad unit. I don't even know how to make him better. Maybe if we gave him Lego's Friend 4, but then I still think female Corrin is better at that specific playstyle. So I don't really know what he's supposed to be doing. So there's that. But yeah, I built this ridiculous Micaiah I haven't seen anyone do it yet, or maybe I just haven't been paying attention. I should probably check the leaderboards or the favor boards in Summoner Duels just to see. But Lagoose Front 4, Crystalline Water is the plan eventually, but I don't want to fodder my veils just yet. I'm very stingy for some reason. But she does have Stillwater 4, which is good enough. And Ploy, just to get extra damage. So she should be able to hit pretty hard with Iceberg. I eventually want to get her Flare, but Flare is like only on Brave Soren. No, I haven't seen it on anyone else, which is annoying because I don't really want to fodder my Brave Sorens right now, just for Flare. So yeah, there's that. The reason that I did that is because I've been using my Rearm Sonya with Lagoose Front 4, and my god, she is fantastic with Lagoose Front 4 if you want to run Glacies, because she gets that pre-charge. So you can either run her with time Pulse or whatever you want to do, because she's still going to get that +1 cooldown every turn. So she is able, Rearm Sonya is able to run that Glacies pretty well with Lagoose Front 4. And she is so good with her. I'm tanking things that she really shouldn't be tanking from a melee standpoint. The only problem is that she can't run close combat to kind of mimic Nurgle, even though you don't really need her to. But it would be good if she was able to counterattack from all ranges. But it's whatever. She's still really, really good. So that's a good build option for you if you want to give your Rearm Sonya some more viability, some more usage. It's not a bad option to give her Lagoose Front 4 because her res is so high, it's sky high, and you can make it even higher on defense when you're running like mythics and stuff. Now, I'm currently in a little bit of a pickle here because I should have put Veil on the other side so that I can break this structure. I'm getting stuck here because the face statue is actually in my way, which is such a minute detail, but it's actually, it just goes to show you how good this defensive map is, that something as small as that face statue could potentially cost me the game here, because Baby Robin is going to get danced, and if he's threatened, he could potentially get rallied, which would mean that he would be able to hit the AoE on Summer Nerpuz here. So we're gonna have to see what happens. I'm not sure how this is gonna play out. So he doesn't get danced here, which will give him +1 movement. Oh, he didn't even move first. That must have been because oh, he didn't rally because Golveg wasn't threatened. Okay, well that worked out in my favor. Because otherwise we would have been in a big problem. I was actually hoping that Summer Golveg would have been able to live the AoE. I think it might have been pretty close. She has like 20 something res. I'll just call it 30. The AoE would have probably done like 50 something, maybe, depending on a bunch of stuff. And then combat, I don't think she would have gotten doubled by Baby Robin here, although from combat forecast, she doesn't outspeed either, so I don't know how that would have panned out, but we don't have to worry about that because we got lucky. Well, not necessarily lucky, I just didn't realize that since Golveg wasn't threatened, Baby Robin was not going to rally, so we were fine. But otherwise, this would have been terribly difficult to get into because, like I was saying, I think the AoE is the better option for this Baby Robin in terms of taking out Ikes. The only problem is Breath of Life 4, but you can get the cooldown to run the AoE consistently on Baby Robin, and you could probably even run Special Spiral 4 on Baby Robin just to loop the AoE. I think that makes a ton of sense because you could have him go in AoE once, then get rallied, and then have him AoE again, someone else maybe, who knows. But Breath of Life 4 has really changed that matchup, so it's not as consistent as it used to be. I mean, as long as he's getting the Hush Spectrum down, he's not dying, but still, getting the kill is pretty challenging. So yeah, that aside, Celica, I actually, like, I haven't started playing my matches yet for, what do you call that game mode? Grand Conquest because I normally don't play on the first, which is so weird. A lot of I see like most like on the first day you can't get max score unless you burn through a bunch of the stamina options for that game mode. You can't get max score unless you burn through on the first day. But if you burn through on the first day, you really can't play on the remaining days. You're going to be out of the stamina option that you need to play that game mode, which is kind of annoying. I feel like you should be able to get stamina options for that game mode until it ends, because it just promotes replayability. It shouldn't be capped at 25. Well, you should be able to extend that cap or give you some ability to replay it instead of having to wait 8 hours. I guess it means that we could wrap the score up as high as we possibly wanted because it would be an unlimited game mode at that stage, but currently there's a cap to how much you can play. I don't like that because what it means is that I can't go all out every day. I gotta like pace myself, and a lot of people pace themselves and only like play on the last day. I don't know how those maniacs do it, but I can't hold it off for that long. I gotta play at least on the second day or on the second cycle, because you cycle on your defense teams. I started out on red, and somehow like every time whatever team I start off on, it always loses day one. I don't understand. Like, it always gets absolutely demolished on day one. And then day two, when I play, we crush stuff, we win. But then day three, because I'm out of the stamina options, I think they're tridents, you lose because everyone is the people that waited for the last day come in and kick our butts. So I don't know. It's an interesting meta, is what I would say. I don't know if it's actually a meta, but it's an interesting dynamic within Grand Conquest. Because also on Saturday is when a lot of the Faytubers play. Saturday, Friday night is when a lot of the Faytubers play, and I guess because most of us are actually watching them play instead of playing, then Sunday is when everyone else will probably jump in. So I don't know. It's interesting. It's really interesting. I like that dynamic of the Grand Conquest game mode. But I've put together what I think is a really cracker team. It's going to be. I really sometimes wonder if the stronger you build your team, the harder it is for the opponent to get points in your sections that you're dominating, because they have to beat the team to win. But what I've noticed is that your units get nerfed. Even at the highest level, your units will still get nerfed. And I find that quite annoying because I've like, your units will end up having like no skills, which makes it easier for the opponent to win. And I think it has to do with something about like balancing the matchups, which I don't feel like there should be a need to do that. It should just be based on your skill as a player in terms of how well you're able to win that game mode or play that game mode. It should really just be down to skill. They shouldn't handicap, but since it's already been built in and no one's complaining about it, it's just, it is what it is, I guess. And also, they don't have to play on the highest difficulty, which is what I do. I like the extra challenge of when the opponent or the opposing AI can warp in and attack on the same turn. I might be a sadist, I don't know, but I really enjoy that extra difficulty. It's really fun. So it makes me play a lot differently. But then again, I typically just kill everything on the first couple of turns. By turn 4, I've already won most of the times, because I do the dagger thing. And the dagger thing is a ton of fun on that in that game mode, because the maps are so much larger and you also get more units to use. So duo dagger in that game mode is a ton of fun. So yeah, that aside, I'm looking forward to playing that. It's going to be fun. There's so much to play this weekend in Fae. There's Grand Conquest, there's Tempest Trials, there's the toilet paper game mode. I don't remember what it's called right now. And then there's Holoforms that's currently going on. I'm probably going to pick up that Laura Shell or a copy of the Laura Shell, depending on the type of skills I get. I really want to get odd or even recovery. I've been struggling to pick that up on her. And then I'm probably going to get the Selena as well, because Falspar from Sacred Stones. Well, of course, it's Sacred Stones, because that's the game mode that's in rotation. I don't think I'm going to get that Leon, the fallen Leon. But I'll get Selena because she has never come home. And I pulled on blue quite a lot. So I'm probably going to pick her up just to get a copy in the catalog, the Pokédex. And the Joshua is whatever. I have no use for that unit whatsoever. So, yeah, there's that. We're pretty much done here. This was quite challenging. I had to play this a lot slower, which is why this is going to be a little bit longer. Yeah, I had to play this a lot slower. Pick my initiation options. I figured that these two traps in front were real because it just made sense. For Mortis is pretty weak turn 1, so you don't want him to get initiated on until his Pavis is up. And once it's up, he's pretty difficult to deal with. So those two traps made sense for them to be real. Even though they had so much support around from Mortis, he probably would have still died to a Winter Edelgard. But yeah, we were able to get through it in the end. This was a challenging map. Thank you. GG's. See you in the next one.